All right. We are here live. It is Tuesday, February 20th, and it is 10:30, just about 10:30. Good morning, folks. This is Mr. Joe.Russo, your spring eClass principal. So the purpose of our session today is, first off, to introduce myself. Hi. And really just connect with as many students as possible that are taking a continuing education e-class course, and give you an opportunity to ask any questions. And then I'll give you a little bit of a tour of the e-learning platform, how to log in, and then I'll check to the chats to see if anyone is asking any questions. You have two options in terms of communicating your questions with me today. And basically the first way is within the chat area of the YouTube session, but you're going to have to log in with your Google account in order to chat. If not, the alternative without having to log into any session or chat session and remain anonymous, what you can do is you can go to the chat area now and click on a link that I shared that will take you to a Google Doc, and you can just choose a box within the table that I share on the Google Doc, and then you can ask your question or post a comment. All right, so first off, we officially begin our program, our continuing education e-class program, on Wednesday, February 21st. That's tomorrow. I want to make sure there's a clear distinction that we're talking about your continuing education e-class course, not your TCDSB day e-learning course, because those are two distinct programs. Day e-learning is only available and offered to grade 11 and 12 TCDSB full-time students, and you can take a course as part of your timetable during the day, whereas continuing education e-class is an e-learning program, but courses are not taken during the day to match your timetable or to coincide with your timetable. Instead, they are considered a continuing education online course, and so they can be done throughout the day. All right, so that being said, just checking the chat area, and we do have one viewer. Woohoo! Thanks for joining us. So I'm now going to present my screen and go into the e-learning site. All right, so this is our e-learning site, which is tcdsb.elearningontario.ca. The recommended browser is Google Chrome. And if there are any other browsers out there that you're using, it's fine. But if you're noticing that you're not able to interact with the website and the content within the e-learning site, then chances are your best bet is to use Google Chrome. All right, so for Toronto Catholic students, you would log in by selecting Login TCDSB Students and Faculty. You would use your TCDSB username and password, the same username and password you would use to connect to the Wi-Fi within your school, or to log into a school computer. If you are a non-TCDSB student, welcome. And what you would do is you would select to log in as a non-TCDSB student or guest. And then once you're here, your username will be your OEN number. Your OEN number would basically be a 9-digit number that could include a 0 at the front. So your OEN would be basically your Ontario education number. You would find it on a report card, on a timetable. Even if you're returning and you're an adult learner and you've already graduated, or you're coming back to high school after a short period of time, your OEN number remains the same. And so if you can locate your OEN number on any of those documents, which you should have basically located when you were registering to participate in this course, you would enter your OEN number, and then your password you would have had to receive a password from eregister@tcdsb.org. So if you're watching this broadcast and you don't have a password to go with your OEN number, then please email eregister@tcdsb.org. And just to be clear, the only time non-TCDSB students would be given a password is once they have been fully, completely approved and registered in an eClass course to begin this spring. And just before I enter our e-learning platform, I do want to remind anyone that is viewing this broadcast that we will begin our program tomorrow, which is Wednesday, February 21st. However, we will continue to accept students all the way until next week, next Friday to be specific. And so, although we are striving to begin our program on February 21st, we do continue to accept students all the way until next Friday, assuming that you are eligible and assuming that there is room in a course. So for full eligibility information regarding non-TCDSB students, please visit www.tcdsb.org/continuing ed. All right, so I'm now going to begin our tour, and I'm just going to log in. Okay. So once you log in, you'll notice that you're going to land on our homepage. So this is our homepage, and here I am posting a message here under announcements, welcoming everyone. I also have already shared the links to all of our YouTube live sessions so that if you want to watch a recording or if you want to join live and ask me any questions, you have the opportunity to have that support. I'm just going to continue to scroll a bit further down, and I want to bring to your attention that we are hosting face-to-face sessions as well. And those face-to-face help sessions are happening beginning today all the way through tomorrow and Thursday, and they will be taking place at the Catholic Education Center, which is the board office at 80 Shepherd Avenue East. In particular, there will be one room designated. Once you enter the main doors, it'll be a room on your left-hand side, and that would be room 105. You will have an opportunity to spend time with an e-learning teacher, ask them any questions, and just basically, you know, get a sense of how to navigate your online course, ask for their advice in terms of how best to set yourself up for success in taking an online course and completing an online course. So you have plenty of help sessions available, both virtual and walk-in. Please take advantage of those sessions should you need the support in taking an online course, because you may be taking an online course for the first time. But if you are returning and you feel like you don't need to have participate in any of these sessions, then that's fine as well. So we're on our homepage, and I'm gonna select to view this page as a student. So, and teachers have the option to do that, right? We want to make sure that as we're setting things up, that, you know, we have a look at what you can see as well. So as a student, you'll notice that you can view all of these tools. I believe not the teacher toolkit, but everything else you can view. And I'm going to start from left to right here along the navigation bar. You'll notice that there's the acceptable use policy that everyone has to abide by in order to be using this platform. And so please have a look, make sure that you're not violating any of our acceptable use policy. Otherwise, again, we would have to have a conversation to see if you can remain within your course. Next, you have access to OSAPAC tools. OSAPAC is a body of folks, of people. Let me say that better, in a better way. So OSAPAC is a group of individuals that basically support the Ministry of Education in recommending digital tools that the ministry could sponsor and provide for free to all Ontario school boards. Now, of course, they're free to Ontario school boards, but the Ministry of Education would pay for them. If you want access to what digital learning resources students and staff have access to through the ministry, just select OSAPAC titles, and then you'll be able to go in and have a look around. You also have a student toolkit, and in the student toolkit, you'll be able to view any of the digital learning tools and websites that have been integrated into this e-learning platform. And last and most importantly, there is a D2L live support. D2L is the vendor that supports this e-learning site. They're the ones that created and support this e-learning site. So if you have any compatibility issues with your laptop or your tablet, or any issues that you're having in any time during your experience in their e-learning site, then what you could do is you could select the D2L live support icon. And once you're there, you have three options. You can either have a live chat with them and say, hi, I'm taking an e-learning course with the TCDSB, and I noticed that I'm having interactive issues with my computer. Is it my browser? They'll probably ask you like what version is your browser, or they'll ask you some specifics so that way they can get down to what the problem is. If you don't want to chat with them, you can also send them an email, and you can also give them a call. All right. So this is really important because if you have a login issue like your username and password, that has nothing to do with D2L. That has to do with me. That has to do with eregister@tcdsb.org. Okay. All right. I'm going to go back to our homepage. So we've already identified the announcements tool. We've already identified the navigation bar and some of the main tools for you to review and possibly use when you're online. On the right-hand side, there's a My Courses widget that'll have all of your courses listed. And, basically this is a shortcut to access your courses. Before we go on, I wanted to encourage you to select your profile. And I would encourage you to go to notifications and set up some notifications. So the biggest challenge with an online course is that you go on with your busy day-to-day and you forget to check in. Well, the fact is you need to log into your course every day. And if you're not logging in every day, then it's hard to pick up from where you left off. You don't know what announcements have been posted by your teachers. You don't know what items are due in your calendar. You don't know if any feedback was provided to you based on anything you've submitted and requested feedback on. You may not be participating in discussions in a timely manner and actually learn from your classmates or get that feedback from your teachers. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to change your email to an email that is external, like a Gmail, a Hotmail, something that you check every day, whether it be on a tablet, on a laptop, on a computer, or on a smartphone. And you're going to want to list that email right up here. Then you're going to want to check off any notifications that you want to receive, like when my teacher shares a new announcement or an updated announcement, or if there's a new announcement. So your teachers know that the best way to communicate is basically to communicate regularly through the announcements tool. And that way you can set up notifications so that once an announcement is posted, you will receive an email saying, hey, my teacher posted something in my course. I better go in there and check and see what it's all about. Okay? So that's the homepage. The homepage, we covered the announcements that I'm going to share. Your course is on the right-hand side, the toolkits along the navigation bar, and then we set up notifications in your profile. The other thing you want to scan quickly are these other little icons along the top, and that is the alerts to give you a sense of what's been done for you to review if it applies to you. The chats, if anyone is chatting with you, and then if you want to check your email, you can check your email. Please note that the email you're checking here is a course email. It's an email that is produced for you to match your e-learning account. So it's not an Outlook, it's not a Gmail, it's not a TCDSB email. It is a TCDSB e-learning email specific to using it only within this course. You cannot use this email to email someone outside the course, like a Gmail or an Outlook, okay? So if your teacher is communicating with you, you would just check your email here or your instant messages. Well, let's say, for example, you want to communicate with your teacher, which is something you should be doing on a daily basis. You're going to need to find your course. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to find my course right over here on the right-hand side, and I'm going to go to the course. Okay? So we've now located our course. And once you're there, if you want to contact your teacher, just go to class list. And once you go to class list, find your teacher. So you'll notice right now the teacher is this person right here under role as a teacher. And that's me right there. So I'm going to select the name in blue. And that's it. You'll notice that right away after you select the teacher's name, it populates a new window, or it opens up a new window that allows you to compose a message. And when you're composing a message to your teacher, like I selected myself, which is why you don't see the email, but if you select somebody other than yourself, it'll populate an email address, and you can automatically send an email to whomever it is that you selected in the class list. And in this case, it would be your teacher. Okay? And that's it. You'll notice that there's a body here of text that you can enter within the body of the email, and you can just type in your message. Once you're done, just hit send. You can also, just like any other email tool, you can upload a file, you can record audio, you can attach different things to this email. But the biggest thing you want to realize is that you need to know how to contact your teacher. So that being said, reminder, go to class list. Once you find under role who your teacher is, click their name, and then you'll notice that a window opens up for you to compose a message to them. That way you can introduce yourself and say, hi, my name is so-and-so, and I'm in your course. I just wanted to say hello. I wanted to introduce myself and let you know that I was able to figure out how to email you, and that I'm looking forward to having a great session in your course. And that's pretty much it in terms of the email piece. The other thing you're going to want to notice is that in your courses, you're going to have a course in your drop-down that is an orientation course. And so it's not actually the course that I'm in right now, but I will go to that course. I'll just go to select a course here. And your course would be called, because I did send an email to everyone, your course is called, I don't see it here because I'm logged in as a different profile, but your course is called the On-Demand Student Orientation course. So I need you to go into that course, and then once you're there, you're going to find all of this content that's available to help you as you take your online course. And so I'll just give you a sample of what it looks like. So I'm selecting to view the Learning Online Student Orientation course. And you'll notice that in the content, the first thing is to take a quiz. So this quiz is designed as a diagnostic. And what it's going to do is basically ask you, have you taken an online course? Where are you at? And it'll, provide some recommendations of how best to prepare yourself to take an online course. And then everything else, every other section here gives you focus on all the different tools that you possibly are going to use in your online course. Messages is going to highlight the email, the chat, something we just went through. Assignments, where you're going to submit your assignments. You also have access to the quiz tool. Should your teachers be using the online quiz tool and you want to know how to use that, then you can go to the quiz tool here. Discussions are awesome, and I'm hoping you're engaging in discussions within your class. If you want to know how to use the discussions tool, then just click here and go into greater depth. And then there's other questions regarding, making you think about you taking an online course, okay? So this is your orientation course, and you also have a second orientation course that has videos and tutorials, but you'll notice that here it basically gives you very specific activities that you're focusing on. And here you'd be focusing on communication, and there's an assignment. I mean, you don't have to do the assignment in terms of it being evaluated. It's more along the lines of asking you to engage so that you can, learn what tool you're using, whether it be the content tool, discussions tool, assignments folder, and all that good stuff. Okay? So I'm just going to go back to the home page of this course. I'm going to scan the chat, and I'm hoping that you might have some questions. I noticed some people are in the Google Doc. So I'm just going to pause for a minute. Okay, so we do have, hello, someone said hello. Thank you for saying hello. So we're just waiting for a question. While the questions are being shared, I also want to remind you that there is a website that you could visit, okay, that will have all of your up-to-date information. And I'm going to go there now, which is bit.ly/TCBSB eLearn. And if you go there, if you go here and you go to the eClass program, I mean, you're welcome to review any part of this site, but this page here in particular is about eClass. This is where you're going to find all the live sessions that are happening. What I'm also going to share here are the dates for midterms and all that good stuff. Okay, midterms, final exams, if you're taking a grade 12 university level course. All of that information will be shared and updated on this site and available to you, as will the recordings. Okay, so I'm just going to stop sharing again. And I believe we've got a question. I have some questions about eClass Summer School. Sure. I'm just waiting for the question to be finished. What programming language, I'm assuming, is going to be the question, will be used for ICS4U? That's a great question, but again, it all depends on what the curriculum calls for, and in specific, because I'm not familiar with the curriculum for ICS4U, but closer to, yep, I know it's the computer science course. I'm basically inviting you to continue to connect with me closer to the startup of our program, because hopefully within 1 to 2 weeks of startup, the teacher for that course will be hired, and we'll have enough students to actually run a course. And then once the teacher is in place, I can connect you with the teacher regarding what the course offering is going to look like, what programs will be used in the computer science course, and then you'll have more specifics. But right now, I don't have that information. It's kind of hard for any course to know what it's going to look like, because that's why the creativity of the teacher and the feedback from the students really shapes what the course is going to look like. I'm sure that for your computer science course, if there's a particular program that you want to suggest to your teacher, I'm sure they'll be open to it in terms of discussing it. So you may want to prepare yourself for that. No, you can leave the question there. It's not a problem. I actually would appreciate if you leave it there. That way I could be reminded, should I have the opportunity to talk to any teachers that are interested in computer science, maybe I can pick their brain and say, what kind of programming language will you consider using, or delete it. It's totally up to you. Okay. All right. I'm also checking the YouTube chat. There's no questions there. I'm just going to pause. We do have 4 viewers. Woohoo! I'm glad you're able to join us. I'm offering a whole bunch of sessions online at different times during the day. There's another one happening today at 3 o'clock, and then another one happening let's see here. I've got it in my calendar. So there's another one happening today at 3 o'clock. Another one happening tomorrow at 7 p.m. Wow, okay. And then another one happening on Thursday at 7 p.m. And then another one happening on Friday at 1 p.m. Are you able to show the online course of MHF, like the content, the assignments, etc.? So in terms of that and auditing the course, I actually don't have the ability to just create a course for you right now and show you that content. What you can do, though, closer to is to registering for if you're registering for summer, or if there's a teacher at your school, your day school, that wants to have access to the MHF course, then what you can do is you could basically consult with them and see if they could set up the course shell, and then you could be in the course. Okay. Great question, though. Something for me to think about, because, you know, if it is possible for students to be in a course beforehand, you know, I'm all for it, but I've got to think about the logistics and supporting, you know, 8,000 to 10,000 students that make the request. Okay. Okay. So are there any other questions? Are there any other questions that you might have? We're coming up to the half-hour mark at 11 o'clock. If not, it's okay. I'll be back online. And you can always email me as well at Joe.Russo@tcdsb.org. Normally, I have a banner along the bottom of this broadcast, and I'm just having a hard time enabling that. And along the bottom, I tend to have my name, my email, and you know, more information so that you can contact me if you need to. But basically, it's Joe.Russo@tcdsb.org. All right, I'm hoping you guys have a great eClass session. And if you've got any questions, again, e-register@tcdsb.org or Joe.Russo@tcdsb.org. All right. All right. Bye for now, folks.